Hey everybody, we are back in Kerbal Space Program. So today, I have some good news and bad news. The good news, I might as well just show you. I was playing around with asparagus stalk launch systems, and let's just say it is a quantum leap in pretty much me being able to do anything in this game. I'll zoom out and you'll see that I've got a craft on Minmus. I was shocked. It's hard. It's hard to really get into orbit with it because you see it's on in like an elliptical orbit compared to Earth, not Earth, Kerbin and the Moon. I haven't tried landing this craft on the moon yet, so maybe I'll do that in this episode. But I want to show you guys the Spurgus Stock Mark III. I'll fly it. It doesn't have anybody in it, so I don't even know what's going to happen here. But it's been there for a while, and this is it. There's the moon and Kerbin and the sun, and it looks really cool, and I was so ecstatic that I wanted to make a video just about this. The launch, or like the lander, just has 4 Nervas. I attached it to just fuselage points, so there's nothing extra fuel in there. It does have a parachute for landing, and had I been thinking, as some on the Kerbal Space Program forum suggested, that I might want to actually put parachutes instead of the nose cones, which I think might be a good idea. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to fly this back to Kerbin, and then we might spend a little bit of time in the vehicle assembly building a new rocket. I know you guys haven't really seen me do a whole lot of that, so I was thinking that's what we would do. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of, or actually all of these guys. Whoops, not end flight, Space Center. That wouldn't have been fun. I'm going to put these guys back inside with their jetpacks, and I will see you once that's finished. Okay, guys, I am back. Our crew are in their positions, and I think we're ready to get off this rock. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get in as low in orbit as possible and then shoot for Kerbin. So I'm going to go ahead and keep SAS on. And really low thrust here. Then I mean, it's incredibly low gravity here. I think we may even get to about 5,000 meters or so. We'll stop, go back into this view, and I'm going to go down at, what is that, 180 degrees. I'm going to try to get that to 90 degrees. And then stop it a little bit. And rotate. Oh, wrong way. This doesn't even have RCS on it, but it doesn't really need it. Lock it there. Let's get circularized. This might take a little while, but I like being on really low burn because it'll be a little bit easier to conserve fuel this way. It's my first time doing this. So I guess I never actually told you guys what the bad news was. Well, the bad news is I actually didn't get a chance to record the landing because I honestly didn't think it would work or that I'd be able to do it in any way. So that's the bad news in this case. But the good news is that I think we're going to be able to circularize this orbit. I really don't want to burn a whole lot more, but I think we'll be okay. Let's see what would happen if I really cranked it up, just, for curiosity. Periapsis is probably about to appear, and we've got one. That's fine. Let's see how much fuel we have left. Wow, a little bit over half a tank still. So we are now in Minmus orbit. Let's see, are we going to hit anything? Probably not. I think we have just enough elevation to prevent hitting anything. So at this point, I'm thinking that we might want to try and get into orbit with Kerbin again. This might fail miserably. I may end up, shooting towards Duna or something like that. It's really hard for me to kind of figure out how to do these kinds of launches. It was hard getting here. I assume it'll be somewhat hard getting back. But what I'll do is I'll speed up time. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And I'll try to get a chance to see Kerbin from here. Maybe, maybe not. Do. Shouldn't be far. There it is. Okay. I'm going to do something that might be kind of stupid. I'm going to try to burn in the direction of Kerbin and hope that that works. Somehow I don't think it will, but you never know. Whoa. Oh, awesome. Nice. I have an orbit for Kerbin. Let's get into it. I forgot that Kerbin's sphere of influence is actually hard to escape to get into Minmus, but not really all that hard to get back into. Let's see if we can't really... Hooray, okay. One thing I'm going to want to do is shoot retrograde until I reach a low enough periapsis. Try to push this down a lot. I have some considerable fuel to work with, so let's just floor it. I'm going to try to get it just inside orbit. Not orbit, I'm sorry, the atmosphere. I think that's good. Let's see how this works. I know it's a decaying orbit, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough. Yeah, we're definitely in the atmosphere. Physical time warp at 4 times. Bringing the apoapsis down. Figure an aquatic landing will be the safest. Burn off the rest of our fuel here. Probably going to have very little influence the more into atmosphere I get, because Nervas are very low impulse, or I'm sorry, low velocity or low thrust, but their impulse is great in a vacuum. Here we go. Getting this lower and lower. Let's see where we end up. Be cool land on somewhere on land, but I don't know how feasible that is. Let's see. I think we will definitely hit land. There's enough of a buffer that I think we'll hit. We still have some fuel, so maybe we can try and pad out the landing, because I think this is going to be an interesting landing, to say the least. Here we go. And lock it. Let's see what's happening here. It's still losing a little bit, but I think we'll be okay. It's always stressful when I'm trying to do any sort of landing, and I really think that I'm really going to pay for not having either detachable Nervas or the parachutes on them, because there's a lot of weight attached there, and our fuel isn't even completely used. I should probably be trying to slow down my horizontal movement, but don't quite feel like doing that. And I'm really interested to see how this works on landing. Losing a lot of altitude. I'm really excited for when they implement atmospheric re-entry burn, because that's going to be super cool and probably incredibly frustrating to deal with. Just how I like it. So we are, I think, officially over land, so we'll be able to See if this thing can take it, or if our 3 friends are going to die horribly. I don't want to deploy the parachute until I have bled off a considerable amount of speed. And if we play our cards right, we might be able to land on this plains-like patch instead of rocky mountains and craters and valleys and plateaus and things. Well, you know, now that I think of it, a plateau probably wouldn't be awful because it's flat. Oh, not what I want to do. It's very hard to, because these radially symmetrical things, it's always a challenge to figure out the direction that you want it to go. We're definitely breaking atmosphere now. It's becoming very difficult to control this as we're getting into the thicker parts of the atmosphere. I think we're going to smack pretty hard. Let's slow this down. Don't want to overheat. Really hoping the weight from the fuel... Well, we might actually burn through all of the fuel. That would probably be fine. Kind of just letting it gently place itself in vertical. Okay, lock. Oh, everything's done. This might be very, very bad. Slow down, please don't tear yourself to pieces. Thick atmosphere, save us all. Oh, nice. That works. I didn't plan that, but hooray for poor connections. Rips off the rest of the craft, and everybody's safe, and we land in a pleasant meadow. Or gigantic forest, and will be eviscerated by various animals. You know, that would be a feature. Boom. Hooray! One thing I'm very excited about is that you'll have repackable... Oh, I didn't... Explosive bolts. I didn't read that before. But the really cool thing about the parachutes in this next update is that you'll be able to unpack them and repack them. So you, just because you did one of these doesn't mean necessarily that you've used them all up. So hooray, we are back on Kerbal. There's the moon. Minmus is probably that sparkly little thing over there that's glistening when I move the camera. Very pleased with this. I actually managed to get back to Kerbal, so that's not a challenge. It's just everything else. Jetpack, not jetpack. Jetpack, not jetpack. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Space Center, and we're going to make a rocket, potentially, that could go anywhere, really. Let's do a one-man pod this time. And I'd like to try and use the smaller parts. As many of you probably know, I didn't come up with the asparagus stock system. Actually, that was someone, I can't recall them at the time. I apologize, but I saw it featured in the Jeff, the 1F Jeff videos. He's doing Kerbal Space Program now. I love it. All his videos are awesome. I really think you guys should check him out. But here we go. I figure we'll start with this because it's got a single Nerva and there's not a whole lot of weight on it. I'll put a... let's see where it is. There it is. Put one of those on the tip. And that should be a good start. What we'll do next is we'll put one of these, move this up, and we'll put on, let's see, definitely 1, 2 of these, and a gimbaling, yes, gimbaling rocket. So that'll kind of be like the orbit or transfer stage. Then below that, I will put another separator, stacked decoupler, and I'll do this and this. I think I'll do one more as well. And I'll put a non-gimbally engine thing. Maybe not. Maybe I should put the gimbaling ones. And then put 6. Oops, nope. Here. And I will pop on these. And I'll also make these like this. Bring you up a little bit more. And I'll also put on the gimbaling rocket booster thingies. So that should be pretty good. I'm also going to do the asparagus stock system with this. So let's see. This is going to take a little bit of time. I'll show you. Let's see. Nope, we're going to turn this on single. Connect. Connect. Whoops, not close enough. Connect, connect. And connect. Connect, not close enough. Also not close enough. Let's see if I can get in through here. Connect. Here. Yes! Success. Okay. And I will also connect you two. And I'll go back here. Which the one? That one. And clippity. Clip. And the last set. Clip you together. Not close enough. Bop, bop. And I will connect you to you. Good. Now, I'll set up the staging off camera because it takes a while to do that. Let's see. That's what we want. Now these we do want on 6 symmetry.
That didn't work the way I wanted it to. You're all connected now. You're all connected now. Not quite. Now you are. And then I want you to connect up here. And I'll go ahead. Whoops. Click, click, click. Connect you guys together. I'm not liking how this stage is looking, because that parachute's probably not going to be enough to carry all that weight. So what I will do is like so. Perfect. Okay. Probably not going to be anywhere near as powerful as the other rocket, but I think this will be fine for getting where we need to go. So while I set up the stages, I will pause the video and see you soon. Okay guys, everything's set up. I did realize though that I incorrectly set up the fuel piping, so I just wanted to show you that really quick. So the first two stages that should come off are the ones that are getting drained first. Then these drain into this second stage, which is then also staged out before this stage and this stage, which are filtering into this third stage. And what that allows for is once all of these external tanks are used, this final, the center stage, has not only been burning through when it's by itself, but it's been burning through this entire other set. So it gives you a lot of extra thrust and efficiency, bang for your buck, whatever you want to call it. So we'll go ahead and launch, clear the pad, and I'm going to try for the moon. Now, if we make it into orbit, my other worry is going to be slowing down on the fuel tank with the Nerva, as well as being able to actually land, because I'm going to have to really kill horizontal movement in order to get that to stay upright, and I don't know if that will work. So here goes nothing. So far so good, but we've been burnt before, and yeah, now the fuel is being used properly. Before off camera, I had tried this, and it was using fuel from other stages. It was a real mess. So here we go, gaining altitude over 2,500 meters. Those stage away. I'm gonna throttle all the way up. Siemens freaking out. This is a good sign. It's going to be nice when you can have fairings cover up the rockets, because it looks really strange when you see rocket engines just exposed like that. And stage. And here we go. I'm going to try leaning over at about... not quite yet, but I want to do it before we get on to the next stages, because that's going to be tough. About 20 kilometers or so, and I'll start my gravity turn. Okay. Not too much. Right about there. 30. I'll go a little bit more. And when we stage, I'll go a little bit more. I'm thinking we can probably go all the way, or close to it. Let's see how our apoapsis is doing. That's pretty much plenty high for what we're doing, so we're going to go all the way over to the 90-degree mark. Very good. I'm going to throttle down. Try and straighten this out a little bit more. Good. And we still have about half of this first stage to get into orbit, and then we have a transfer stage and then a final like resting point stage. So I'm going to warp up a little bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was a mistake. Should still be alright though, but I would have liked to have started that burn a lot earlier. Because we have passed the apoapsis. We could still be okay, but I'm not sure that that's going to work too well. I may have screwed us. This might be alright though, because we're gaining a lot of speed here. Establish orbit very soon. Yeah, this is fine. Make sure that's at least 80 to 90. That's good enough for me. Orbit's pretty nice and circular. We can start for the moon as soon as it rises. Whoop. Whoa. Very sensitive roll controls, but I think it doesn't really matter as long as I'm on that equator line. Let's go ahead, warp things a little bit. And wait for a moonrise. This tactic works really well for planets and bodies that are on the 90-degree mark, or the like the equator mark, so to speak. But for Minmus, it definitely will not work well. I've shut off at 45 degrees, and the first time I did that it worked, but I think that was more dumb luck than anything else. Let's see, where is the moon in relation to anything? Oh, it's way behind us. We're gonna have to really wait here. I'm glad I checked. Let's slow it down a little bit. 10 times is okay. Right when it's like the hardest for me to correct my orientation is when it's going to pop right up. Should not be long now. Whoa, okay. Okay, here it is. And let's just flip ourselves right over. RCS would probably make this a lot simpler, but I think we have enough force here to make this work well. Right at the 90 and hold it and burn. See how we're doing on that fuel. It's going down pretty quick. Good thing we're not trying to go really anywhere other than the moon. That's what probably these small parts are best suited to do, is going to those kinds of... Whoa, okay. Okay, is that good? Might have overshot that a little bit. Trying to cheat and get my periapsis lower before I'm even there. That will cost me. Pulse the SAS. Try to shoot retrograde a little tiny bit. Good enough. That is good enough for me. And we'll have a little bit left over to establish our orbit, and then we'll be leaving it up to that last stage to whoa, oh, come on, be nice to me. That was unfortunate. It was not... Oh, okay, I'm on period. That was weird. Alright, let's slow you down. Is that prograde or retrograde? There's an X in the middle of that. Let's just burn the rest of this off. Let's establish our orbit. Very slow with this one nuclear engine. Or rocket, I'm sorry. Try to get into one of these craters. Don't know if that'll work. We're not there. I'll try to do something at one of the poles to rotate us, maybe. Yay, it works. Still, our trajectory could use a lot of work. Burn. Retrograde. I don't really like that, but we'll work with it. Let's drop it 1,000. And whoa. Probably gonna land right on the edge of one of those craters. Which is the exact opposite of what I want, but this should be okay. Yeah, that even a little bit slows us down. I'm a little impatient though, so let's try this. Whoa, 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 okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. Oh, very mountainous, not a fun place to land. And we are really sucking down that fuel. Looks like horizontal movement's not too bad though. Once we bleed off a good amount of this speed, things should go a little bit better for us. About half fuel. Wow, this is not fun. I don't even know if we're going to be able to pull this off with the amount of fuel. I probably should have packed some more. So close to a flat crater, but alas. Well, there's a little bit of an indentation there. Switch to surface avionics. Don't want to let it get too much higher than this. Moon landing very stressful. Probably won't be able to get back, which is unfortunate. Continue our descent. Whoops. I got a little shaky. Oh. Well, it was an incline anyway, so that probably wasn't going to work very well. Let's see what the IVA looks like. Oof. So this is how many people I have to rescue on this planet? Or the moon, rather? Oh god, that's dizzying. This poor Kerbal. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Bam. All worth it. Oh, get up, get up. Catch up to your craft. Bam. Whack. Well, that's fun at least. So I think I have, like, what now? 2 rescue missions for the moon? I had a feeling it was probably a bad idea to try a landing, with such little... what do I want to say? Points of impact, I guess. Moon surfing. Sticky keys. Ah. So there could be some improvements done to the lander craft. Final resting place. The sun. Where's Kerbin? Can't find it. Okay. Well, hopefully you won't have to spend too much of eternity here. We'll rescue them later, I suppose. Maybe in point 18, but I think point 18 is going to kill save games, so you've served your country well. That's about all the time I have for this episode, but hopefully I will get another one out before point 18 hits, but if not, I will see you then. Leave a like if you liked.